wake up in the morning, it's time to pay the tab. I get to let it all out. Whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm going through in that moment, none of it matters when I walk in here. Fitness is a marathon. You got to keep pushing at it a little bit at a time. If you have a day where you don't get what you want, as long as you got something, that's still a win.
What have you learned about yourself throughout all this?
I say the biggest thing I've learned about myself is name is Jacqara Johnson, 37. I am what they call a religious program specialist in the U.S. Navy. What brought me here specifically to the Iron Asylum is I got here late 2022. I went on deployment and I came back and I was just looking for a gym that made me feel like I was at home, where I could be myself. I was looking for something where I knew I could come in, I could just be my unapologetic self here. So, and since I've been here, it's like I'm at home. I've been in the gym life for about 18 years. But when I really started coming here in particular, I was at a point where getting a little older in my age and wanted to change up how I was eating, change up my workout routine. I wanted to be a little bit more intense in my workout team, but I wanted to be somewhere where every day I could just tap into it in a different way. So it's about 2 years ago, going into the end of 2023, I stepped on a scale and I had gotten as low as 220, and then I stepped on the scale and I was about 3 pounds away from 260. And that was what finally triggered and said, all right, I got to change it up. Not being able to work out to the weight and to the extent that I wanted to, I just hated it. The hardest part of this journey has been pushing myself being consistent on the days where I want to just say no. My why, when I come in here, this is one place outside of my home where I get to be my unapologetic raw self. I get to let it all out. Whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm going through in that moment, none of it matters when I walk in here. So that's my why. I get to let the beast out while I'm here. How it translates, I have a motto when I walk in here, and I say it's time to pay the tab when I walk in here. So I take that same motto, wake up in the morning, it's time to pay the tab. So it prepares me for whatever I have to whatever I have to deal with throughout the day, throughout the week. It gives me opportunity it gets my mental ready. My most memorable moment here was the day I realized I dropped I cut almost 50 pounds, and it was about July last year. And I took a picture of it, and every now and then I look back at that picture, and that was my defining moment. That was when I knew that's when I knew I had made it. I've been making some real changes. So I remember that feeling particularly. I was crushing legs that day, and I really, really had been pushing myself. And I remember after the workout, took off my sauna suit and I looked in the mirror, and I was just amazed at just the progress, just looking at myself in the mirror. That's the first time in a long time I had been confident enough to look at myself and actually appreciate how I look. For me, that turns into, if I can appreciate myself in here, in that moment, then I can appreciate myself in the morning when I wake up. I can appreciate myself throughout the day when I might be stressed or tired. I can appreciate myself when I'm giving it my all. Being a parent, I can appreciate it, and I go back to that moment as something just to remind myself whenever I feel like I want to stop. The biggest obstacle I've had to overcome, time adjusting. The consistency for me on the days that I absolutely just want to do nothing, and then the time adjusting. Just having to, I had to find what worked for me. I mostly stay to myself while I'm in the gym, but honestly, I stay to myself, but I'm actually, while I'm in here working out, I'm watching. So I'd be one day where I might see somebody pushing out 405 on the squat, or I think it was yesterday, I saw somebody had almost 345 on the bench press. Or better yet, I had one day where I was doing it was chest day for me, and I had somebody right next to me doing twice as much weight as I had, and I wanted to stop, but I was like, nah, I got one more in me. And it's just, they may not have verbally inspired me, but just being in here every day, watching how people just come in here and they just work.
If your progress has had like a soundtrack, like what's the song that you're gonna fuck up with this?
Key Glock, let's go.
Let's go, that's a great song. That's a great song, bro.
Message I want to say, especially to anybody that's going through this, is experiencing it the same way I have, fitness is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It is a very slow, a very steady race, and you have to just keep taking it. You got to keep pushing at it a little bit at a time. The more you stay at it, and the more consistent you at it, the better you'll be at it. Don't get discouraged if you have a day where you don't get what you want. As long as you got something, that's still a win. I say the biggest thing I've learned about myself is there's nothing I can't do that I don't say. If I set my mind to say something, that I'm gonna do it, there's nothing nobody's gonna stop. So that's the biggest thing I got from being here. I'd say the only thing I can think of is I've been working out, going to different gyms for the betterment of about 18 years now. This gym in particular is easily my favorite. Was easily the best gym I've been a part of. I actually absolutely enjoy coming here, and I'd say coming in here revitalized my love for working out, for fitness. So you don't find too many gyms, specifically with a name like Iron Asylum, that tells you all you need to know. That tells you what type of gym, what type of environment you're about to step into. That lets you know what it is and how the mindset, mentality of most people that step in here. So that's why I thrive at. Appreciate it.